Hello everybody, welcome back to the shop and the channel and the D17 party. We are filming this intro for the third time now because the GoPro is acting up. Thank you GoPro, but we're going to be doing more front end work today because today is a wonderful weather day for tractor work. We got a little bit of a dusting starting to come down now. We're only supposed to get about an inch by tomorrow morning, but I love working on tractors when it's snowing. It's just nice to look out the window and be all nice and warm in here. Also, point of reference, we have the neighbor's new idea, 3626 manure spreader out there. Just started working on that today with the beater bar bearing that went. So stay tuned for more on that one. That's going to be an interesting lathe project. But that's not what we're here to talk about. Today we're here to talk about the D17 yet again. We are waiting on some parts to finalize the spindle assemblies. Those parts being the weird size C-clip that holds the spindle to the steering linkage, which holds this whole assembly together. So I had to order those right from AGCO. They should be here hopefully in less than a week so we can get all that tidied up. As you can see, in the meantime, I have assembled the axles and mostly assembled the spindles. We have our tie rod ends on, they're hooked up under there. We're still loose though, we gotta do final alignment. I'm gonna do that after I put the hubs on. So, speaking of the hubs, here they be. A little bit of missing paint and all, but we're gonna get these on. Get the bearings in there, get this all set up to go, so that's just one thing we can check off of the checklist. Alrighty, minus a cotter pin, here's everything we need to get the hubs onto the spindles. We've got a cap, we've got bearings, we've got a seal. This is the bearing kit that is sold by Allstate's Ag Part, and when you get that, you get 2 bearings, 2 races, and the seal. What it does not include is the nut, the locking piece, and the washer. So you'll have to save those. And I have to try and get them out of the other spindle yet because that cap is on there. This is a later model D17, so we have the 6-bolt hubs. These are, I believe, remanufactures, again from Allstate's Ag. And then of course onto the hubs we have our rims, which are salvage yard rims, so these are originals, not remanufacturers. And we are still waiting on the tires and the tubes for that, so hopefully this week I'll be able to go get those. So let's get to it. We're going to put races in the hubs, we're going to pack grease in the bearings, get the seal on there, and get the whole thing together. What's up? Welcome back. It is the next day, Sunday morning. I finished putting the bearing races in the hubs last night. Next on the list, we're going to pack some grease into the new bearings, but before I do that, I'm going to get the washer nut and cap out of the other old hub. Alright, so having gone through a fire, these hubs are pretty rough. This one's not spinning, that's how seized up it is, but even the cap wouldn't come off, but I just thought you guys would like to see what I found when I cut the cap off. That's some good stuff right there. That's why we're not reusing the old bearings. Let's pack some bearings. Alright, greasy bearings in the hubs. Next step, we have to put the back seals on. These are a pretty snug fit on the hub and the axle, so I'm going to push them into the hub, and then we'll push the hub onto the axle, and that'll set that, since we already have the bearing in there. And then the front bearings get packed and put on after the hub is on the axle. Alright, we're at the spindle now. This diameter is where the back bearing's going to sit. This diameter is where our seal sits, and this diameter actually goes inside of the end bore on the hub. And then this diameter obviously is where the small outside bearing sits. Just get that guy started on there. You know, I'm really starting to think it's time for a new camera because I think it just died on me there, but what I did was I put the spindle on with the seal and the rear bearing in there, and then I used the front bearing, the nut, and the washer to seat the spindle seal onto its diameter. So now that that's done, we're going to snug this guy back up and get it to its actual operating spec, because if I would leave it tight like that, obviously that would be too snug and would wear the bearings out. So I'm just going by feel on this, and that feels pretty good. So the last thing I have to do is just add that nut cap and a cotter pin, and then obviously the cap that goes over it. Alright, so next goes cap,
followed by the cotter pin.
There we go. One hub done. One to go. Alright, just in case the other side didn't record like I thought it did. Alrighty then, guys, another step done on this project. A little bit of a shorter one this week, but doing all the editing on these videos is eating up a lot of my time on the weeknights. That's why they're not coming out one a week like I try to do. But anyway, next we have, we'll do front end alignment, front tires, all that kind of good stuff. And that means that this tractor will be rolling, which means that probably the next video after that is going to be fluids and pushing it outside to see if we can get this thing to start. So wanted to do that this weekend, but couldn't get to the tire supplier this week. So yeah, we're moving along pretty good. I'm getting pretty excited. We are, I would say, ahead of schedule at this point. So as always, guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit the like button, give me a subscribe if you want to keep seeing these videos, and I'll catch you in the next one.